September is Suicide Awareness Month across the nation, and the stats are sobering. Globally, 1 million people die every year from suicide. Colorado has one of the highest rates in the nation, where suicide is on the rise, and Summit County has one of the highest rates in the state. So far this year, 8 people have died from suicide in Summit, including 5 who came from out of town. Building Hope is fighting the good fight. The nonprofit for mental health and suicide education has grown leaps and bounds since 2016, tapping into a resident community supported by the Family and Intercultural Resource Center with financial help from the Summit Foundation. Building Hope founder Betsy Casey stopped by the Krystal 93 studio for an update on the state of suicide in Summit and a preview of all the fun, free, positive events coming to town this month. Phil Lindeman, Krystal 93 News Director, in the studio today with Betsy Casey of Building Hope. Betsy, thanks for coming in. Always nice to have you in here.
Thank you so much, Phil. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. And we are talking about September. September is Suicide Awareness Month. Now, tell us a little bit about Suicide Awareness Month and what you guys are doing at Building Hope, because Building Hope is designed specifically for mental health and mental health awareness and support.
It is, absolutely. So September is a great time to call to attention and bring awareness around suicide prevention and awareness. The World Health Organization actually reports that globally 1 million people die each year from suicide. So it's definitely still a considerable health issue in our community and across the world. And unfortunately, the CDC also reports that suicide is not decreasing in the United States. It's actually increasing. So just incredibly important to call awareness to this issue. And usually what communities do is they take the time to deliver proclamations and put more information across radios, ads, media to let people know that suicide still is an issue and that people can support individuals who are struggling with mental health concerns and that they can empower themselves with information, awareness on how to support people in a mental health crisis so that it doesn't result in suicide.
Absolutely. And that's kind of the big part of it, is that this is all about awareness and help and, you know, kind of bringing the issue and the topic to the forefront, because sometimes suicide is one of those, like a lot of mental health issues, that just doesn't get talked about or gets brushed under the carpet and just not people just don't like to talk about it.
It's very true. People don't like to talk about it. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. I think it's even difficult to talk about our feelings today, let alone suicide. So it's a great time when we can just really actually bring the issue out into the light and say, hey, this is happening. It's happening in our community. It's nothing to be ashamed of. That mental health crises happen. They occur. It's not because of somebody's moral failing. You know, mental health issues can be biological, genetic, because of traumatic experiences in the past. And if people aren't able to get the resources that they need, that it can lead to a mental health crisis. And I think one of the things that we really try to do is empower people to know that you don't have to be a mental health professional in order to save somebody's life. We actually offer what's called a QPR training. It's kind of like CPR, QPR for mental health crisis, and letting people know that in 1 hour they can learn how to save a life and intervene when somebody's having a mental health crisis, and just get those tools and those skills to be able to save a life, that it's really easy and that you can make an impact.
Yeah, you think about it, 1 hour, that in the grand scheme of things, not that much time at all.
Exactly. And when you think about how many people you might be navigating and meeting across your life, you know, many of those people might be struggling and having a tough time. So those skills are really great to have.
Absolutely. And of course, Building Hope has been instrumental in getting stuff like that launched here locally. You guys have been around for just over 2 years now. Congratulations.
We have. Thank you very much.
Had some good success as well. Great community support, and FERC is still there helping out. Yeah.
Yep. FERC is our housing agency. They've been amazing. The Summit Foundation is our fiscal sponsor. In the last 2 years, we've actually been able to train over 530 people in evidence-based mental health trainings. We've given out 187 scholarships to individuals who are needing mental health therapy but can't afford it. We've offered over 93 free community connecting events that are really designed to reduce isolation, bring people together in a fun, friendly, free atmosphere, orient people to local resources, and we're still going.
You're still going strong, and of course, going all month long with some of these events and activities. But before we touch on those, I wanted to touch on Summit County. So Summit County in particular, like you said, suicide rates, they're going up across the country, across the nation, and Summit County has some of the highest. What does suicide look like in Summit County? Who is affected by it, and what have you guys, discovered in the past 2 years of really working in the community?
So suicide and mental health issues in general are no discriminator. I think that they affect all age ranges, all demographics, all socioeconomic statuses. And in 2018, Summit County has experienced thus far a total of 8 suicides. 6 were male, 2 were female, 3 were local, and 5 were actually individuals who are not Summit County residents who came here to actually take their lives. So that's kind of what the landscape of suicidality looks like in our community. And this is just a general statistic, but usually they say that a minimum of 32 people are impacted when there is a suicide death. So that's many people are being impacted when there is a suicide death.
Yeah, it doesn't end with that person, and sometimes that can be the tough part, is that whoever might be considering suicide thinks that that's going to be the end of the pain, that they're doing everyone a favor, and that's not always the case. Like you said, one of the interesting things about Summit County is the fact that people come here to commit suicide. What kind of intervention can be done for them? What kind of help can they reach out for?
That's a fantastic question, and I think that it's something that we continue to ask ourselves. That's not an easy question to ask. It is difficult. I think that you can move the needle in your own community, but when people are coming here specifically to sort of get a last look at the beautiful mountains before they choose to leave, it is really difficult to make an impact in those lives. But we do have amazing state resources like the Colorado Crisis Services line. That number is 1-844-493-8255 or 493-TALK. So that's always a really fantastic resource. There are it's staffed 24/7 with not only trained clinicians but also peers. So if you don't want to talk to a therapist and you just want to talk to somebody who has also walked through mental health difficulties or suicidality, you can always pick up the phone and call. So that's another great resource.
And like you said, something that's available 24/7 all the time. Now moving on to what's done here locally, Suicide Awareness Month. What does Building Hope have going on for this month? Anything in particular? You guys just had a golf tournament.
We did.
Yep. A great, beautiful day for a golf tournament, too.
It was fantastic. It was a wonderful fundraising event. Thank you so much to the town of Frisco and everybody that participated in that. And yesterday we actually had a QPR, one of those suicide prevention trainings. I would also like to mention that upcoming in November we have another mental health training. It's called Mental Health First Aid, and that is an absolutely excellent training. It is a full day training, but it covers the entire gamut of what are mental health issues, how do we decrease stigma in our community, understanding the landscape of mental health issues, what does anxiety entail, what is schizophrenia, as well as providing a detailed outlined plan on how to actually help somebody who's in a mental health crisis. So that's in November.
Great, in November. And is that the sort of thing that's going to be free, open to the public?
It's always free. We always provide food. We encourage as many people to come. All of our events are free.
Open to the public. About how long is a training like that last? Full day?
8 hours.
8 hours?
Yep.
Okay. 8 hours. But you leave with so much stuff. Even somebody, do you get people who are, trained professionals coming to some of these workshops to even, kind of re-up and refresh their own skills and what they know? We
do, absolutely. And, we've hosted several mental health first aid classes, and it's just been amazing to see the community. We have first responders, we have teachers, we have local individuals who work at nonprofits, we have business members, we have employers. It's a fantastic skill to have. We deal with mental health. Every single person is impacted by mental health every single day. So to be able to have those skills to intervene is just invaluable.
So along with everything else that's happening during this month, the monthly events and all of that, there's also a fun new program coming up, Kickball. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so we recently started a program called Building Hope Young and Active that's really designed specifically to support our young, active, sort of millennial type population. A lot of time this is a population in our community that can be particularly vulnerable, possibly not have family up here. So this is a program that's really designed to create supports and community for our young and active folks. And we have a really awesome barbecue, kickball, music, cook-off coming up on September 23rd. That's Sunday, from 3 to 6 over at the Breck softball field. And we would love to have any young active folks who are interested in hanging out, getting to know some other individuals in the community, and just having a great time, stop by.
Definitely stop on by the Kickball and Barbecue Tournament. That's going to be September 23rd. And again, free.
Yes, absolutely. 100%
always.
Free.
Of course. And along with that, you also do monthly just get-togethers. What are some of those get-togethers? What do those look like?
We do. So we always offer a lineup of free events every single month that look like yoga, free art classes, cooking classes. In October, we're actually going to be having an equine self-leadership class. We have just so many amazing opportunities. Additionally, coming up in December, we will have a Karoo meditation and mindfulness class. That's a 4-week-long series. So just amazing opportunities for people to build on social emotional skills, but also really be able to connect with individuals in their community and build a stronger and bigger community themselves while reducing isolation. And as we know, social connectedness really improve mental health outcomes. So just being together and spending time with your community.
Yeah, getting out and having a good time with other people who live right here in town.
Absolutely.
Just like yourself. And finally, the one thing that I wanted to touch on was that mental health is also going to be on the ballot this upcoming election in November. Tell us a little bit about Measure 1A. That'll be providing about $2 million for mental health, along with many other programs.
Yes. So Measure 1A is a multi-issue question that will be posed on the ballot in November, as you said. And if it passes, or we like to say when it passes, $2.2 million worth of funding would be funneled into Summit County, specifically for the purposes of improving mental health services within our community. So that would be amazing, in addition to all of the other amazing community efforts that it would support, like wildfire mitigation, universal preschool, zero waste. But some of the things that you could expect to see if the ballot passes would be the establishment of mental health and substance abuse treatment, specifically treatment programs in our community, which we don't really have a lot of formal substance abuse and mental health treatment specifically in our community. Usually people need to leave the community for something like intensive outpatient treatment. So that would be a game changer for Summit County. It would also increase school-based health care and school-based mental health services. It would establish a crisis response team. It would expand community education, awareness, and it would provide more support for our mental health navigation program, which is a new program that Building Hope has launched in the last 4 months. It's been a wildly successful program. It's a free community mental health navigator who is bilingual and will sit down and help people get connected to the appropriate level of care.
Very cool. Fantastic. And like you said, that's been going on all summer long.
Yes.
Great response so far? Absolutely.
Our mental health navigator has been able to, she's managed about 55 cases since that program began. And it's just a really awesome opportunity for people who might know of somebody who needs help or might need help themselves and just say, hey, I have no idea where to start. I don't know if I need treatment. Do I need therapy? She's a great resource to really sit down and create an individualized plan for people to get, like we said, connected to the appropriate resources.
Great. And that's something brand new that Summit County really hasn't had before, at least not at that level.
This is completely brand new. Summit County has never had this, and it's been so successful that we've actually hopefully budgeted money so that we can have more of it because it's been so successful.
Great. Well, great to hear about all the new additions there at Building Hope, and as well as Suicide Awareness Month and all the events that will be going on. And of course, if people need to reach out, the website again?
www.buildinghopesummit.org.
Great. Betsy Casey with Building Hope, thanks again for coming in, making time to talk a little this morning.
Thank you so much.
Of course, great to have you. Betsy Casey on Krystal 93.